Hey good people, I have a new obsession, as if I need another one. But it is vintage luxury bags. Please get in here. We've got to chat about what I think is one of the most untapped luxury markets. I also have a haul. Let's get started. Now, I want to thank my good friend Alex L for today's obsession, okay? Because Alex started sending me vintage bags that were at great prices and super unique designs probably about a month and a half, 2 months ago. And you know how you're just kind of busy going throughout your day, and I'm like, oh, okay, girl, that's a cute bag. And then I was like, oh, girl, that's a cute bag. And then I was like, what's going on over here? Now, you sending me some bangers. These are amazing finds, and again, at great prices. So everybody hop down into the comment section and say thank you, Alex, because it is because of her that I have decided to mine the field of what is available right now in the vintage luxury market, share with you my faves today, and also this list of tips. But first up, why vintage? What is the point of shopping vintage on the pre-loved market? I've already hinted at my first two reasons. You find unique pieces that other people don't have. I mean, who doesn't want to be one of one, okay? Or one of a few. And then number two, you're always going to find, typically unless it is a Birkin, a Kelly, some of the bigger name bags, you're going to find a cheaper price on the pre-loved market. These are things that are no longer in production. These are items that maybe there have been slight changes to of the newer pieces. You may have some signs of wear and tear, but we're going to talk about what to look out for in just a moment. And so what that means is they're going to be much more affordable. Everything that I have found that I have taken a keen eye towards, y'all, has been under $1,000, but some even cheaper than that, under $500. As you know, with inflation and such, it is almost impossible to find handbags that are designer handbags under $1,000. So between kind of the uniqueness of an item and between the price, it is a no-brainer because we don't do what? Pay full price for luxury. And then obviously sustainability has to be mentioned. Keeping things in rotation is better for the environment, and it ensures that we're just not being wasteful and that we're shopping with intention, we're consuming consciously, all things that we love on this little corner of the internet. And the last thing is, if you are a luxury lover and a student of fashion, then what you know is that there's nothing new under the sun. And many of the most popular handbags over the last 5 to 10 years are just newer versions or sometimes exact replicas of ones that the design house may have made a few decades ago. The Bottega Hobo bag, sometimes called now the Jody bag or the Hot bag, is just Daniel Lee's reinterpretation of that bag from the early days of Bottega. The Gucci Horsepick chain bag that had the girls in a chokehold last year is almost an exact replica of the prior one that was made under Tom Ford's era at Gucci. Then we have the Dior saddle bag, for example. That came back around in different sizes with slight distinctions, but it's the same bag. Same thing with the Fendi baguette. Okay, the Sex and the City versions of the bag are pretty much the bag that the house is making today. So why are we buying these things brand new? I mean, don't get me wrong. I definitely understand the appeal of something like the Loewe puzzle bag, which you all know I go on and on about ad nauseum, and other newer designs. But by and large, once you feel like you've reached handbag heaven, we all want something that feels a bit more bespoke and, again, unique. On top of the fact that who does not want to save money? And let me share with you right now what I am looking for when I am searching for pre-loved vintage bags. I got two that I'm going to reveal to you today. So the first tip I want to share with you all today is to focus on key brands. Now, I'm saying this because it's important that we narrow the universe a bit. There are so many options, but what I'm going to share with you are the ones that I found great prices at, and also bags that for me have the biggest appeal. These things are sexy, and I will have my faves linked down below. Don't you worry. Number one is what's happening at Loewe on the pre-loved market right now, the vintage versions of these bags. The Amazona It's cute. They have a current version of this, but I actually appreciate the vintage version even more. So pay attention to Loewe as you are searching. Number 2 is Celine. And hear me out. There are things that are mind-blowing. I found this vanity case that's 2-level in impeccable condition. This is a handbag, baby girl. This is a toiletry kit. This is for your stationery. This is for you know, you got you a little pow pow. You put that thing. Protection. Put your little pow pow in there. Okay. Pack of gum and a little mini bottle of water, and all your bases are covered in this right here. In fact, I love this so much that I'm really upset that I did not see it before I got my LV vanity case. You can't have it all. And so make sure you are following me on Like to Know It, because I am, as I find these bags, going to be updating my LTK with some of my faves. But girl, this is good. And I believe this macadam, which is this kind of canvas that has the Triumph logo embedded in it, it's up next. You heard it here first. And I say that because the Triumph logo is something that Eddie Slimane, the previous director, dug out of the archives and made popular on their handbags again. Now, Eddie has since transitioned out of Celine, and they have a new director. So who's to say that you may not get your hands on the next It bag that the new creative director is going to send down the runway? I'm just saying, the possibilities here are endless of what you can find on the vintage market. I mentioned Fendi already, but bringing that back to the forefront here for brands to look out for, I find that Fendi has a lot of very unique designs on the pre-loved market. It's a design house that has been around forever, yet the zucca print, the classic FF print, really has not changed. And so you can find bags when they are in good condition that literally look like you took them off the shelf in the Fendi boutique today and walked out the store. So pay attention to Fendi on the pre-loved market, please. And the last one I will say is the Louis Vuitton. No surprise given its prevalence on the pre-loved market as well as the vintage market. But hear me out, because there's some nuance to this one. I believe that it is the epi leather that really shows out in the vintage designs. I mean, it doesn't hold its value in the same way for whatever reason. I think because it's kind of like if you know, you know. So the prices tend to be better. But also, you can find some super unique designs. Now, if you're just a speedy girl or a never full girl, go off, sis. But what I'm finding in that epi leather on the pre-loved market, the Con bag had its moment maybe about 5, 6, 7 years ago, but that's still available. Other designs like this one, I've never seen such a thing. Is it a bucket bag? Is it a tote? I mean, and it's in great condition. We're going to get down to where I recommend shopping it in just a second, by the way. But fashion file. And then don't forget the triangular bag that the girls have been loving. I know Kayla Walker has it, Monroe has it, Alicia has it, and all of them are just delicious, okay? So Louis Vuitton, epi leather. Pay attention, pre-loved market. Next is condition, okay? And when I was at the Fashion File flagship over Fashion Week, I met the store director, and she said 3 things. She said whenever you were looking at an item that is pre-loved, whether it is newer or if it is vintage, always note the corners of the bag, because that's where you're going to see the most wear typically. The hardware that is on the bag, has it tarnished, has it faded, do the buckles still work, and the smell of the bag. Now, when we are shopping online, that last tip is a little difficult because AI ain't invented scratch and sniff yet. But smell is definitely a consideration when we talk about these vintage bags. So, corners, hardware, smell. And I have a tip about how you may be able to overcome smell if something has a little bit of a grandmama addict odor, okay? It's real. These are things that can be decades old. Now, as I hinted, where am I shopping and also authenticity? These 2 things for me go hand in hand. If this was kind of like a triangle or a pyramid, the apex, the very top for me is going to be Fashion File. It is because Fashion File don't play by that condition, honey. They do not. Even when the item says shows wear, I've seen with my own 2 eyes in the flagship. That just means that it was pre-owned, typically. That is their baseline. If it comes in and it doesn't have tags, it says shows wear, as all things do over time. But it still can be in fantastic condition. So top of the pyramid for sure. But secondly, Fashion File does something that not all websites do, which is accepts returns. So you get great condition, and you also get to return it if you don't love it or if you get it home. And again, those corners, hardware, and smell are not where you want them to be. And I find their prices on vintage pieces to be pretty good. Next on the pyramid of authenticity / price would be Vestiaire Collective and the Real Real. For me, they would kind of be on the same rung of the pyramid. Yes, they authenticate for you, but they do not allow returns. After that, I would say it's Poshmark because they authenticate over $500, but again, they don't allow returns. Last rung, but we still on the map now. We still on the map is eBay and Etsy, and do not sleep on your girls. That's a bad B collabo right there. The prices tend to be the best because you're going pretty much directly from seller to consumer, but they don't authenticate. Now, there are some pieces that say eBay guaranteed. I try to do some research. I don't know when that's triggered. I think maybe the seller has to pay eBay for that, but I haven't seen it on a lot of the vintage pieces. For the most part, you can assume that there is no internal authenticity mechanism. But that doesn't mean you are purchasing things that are inauthentic, because many of the sellers who are tried and true, who have high ratings, which is very important, do make claims of authenticity. And I happen to believe that if you have 1,500, 4.9 and above out of 5-star ratings on a platform, you're probably legit. Especially if you are a Japanese seller, because if folks do not know, Japan has a very restricted and regulated luxury pre-loved or pre-owned market, which is why many people actually travel to Japan to shop pre-owned luxury items. And lastly, if you still feel like something may be a little off, or you want 100% peace of mind, you can hire your own authenticator or authenticity expert. I have never done that. I feel pretty comfortable and self-assured when determining authenticity if it hasn't been done by the brand that I'm purchasing from, but it is an option for you. And if you think about it, if the bag is $300-400, some people may find the investment to be worth it. Now, I've mentioned to you the websites, the brands, what to consider regarding condition. Here are the bag types I would really be looking for right now. First, I would think about the color of the season. First is chocolate brown, and second is cherry cola, oxblood, burgundy, whatever you want to call it. I feel like those two colors are definitely trending, and you can find pre-loved vintage items in those colorways. Second bonus points if the bag is suede. Suede is definitely, I think, more trendy this season than I have seen it before. It's fall, so it only makes sense. Third, look for oversized bags. Now, you may notice that I did not mention Chanel. This because I feel like I'm not a Chanel girl, but also the prices, even pre-loved, for me, don't make any sense. Like, the math don't be mathing. But I did see on Fashion File one large, almost kind of like a weekender style, burgundy Chanel bag for under $1,000 that was vintage. And it was quilted. That thing was bad. So oversized bags in general, I think because they went through a period where they weren't as highly coveted, just tend to be really good prices, in my opinion, on the resale market. And then the last area that I would be looking for bags in would be East-West bags. For all the reasons that you know, plus I shared this in my luxury handbag trends video of 2024, East-West bags is where it is right now, sis. So find you one at a good price on the vintage pre-loved luxury market. But now it's time to get into my two bags that I have purchased using these tips on my list. And speaking of East-West, it is, girl, make sure that wig is glued down, baby. Now is not the time for a glueless lace front, because if it gets to shifting, it ain't my fault. What the light is doing to this is criminal. This thing looks so good. Do you see this? I'm going slow because this is, you've got to really take a moment. The condition of this, it is in the Fendi zucca print, as you can see. It has small silver accents of hardware with the Fendi logo on each of the handle prongs there. The handles are in brown leather, and the zipper is also trimmed in leather. This bag was $670. I purchased it on Etsy from a seller who has over 1,000 sales and a very high rating. I am shook. The corners are in excellent condition. There is a little bit of, you see that? Corner wear on just actually one side. I've shown you the hardware. That is in impeccable condition and no smell whatsoever. And as someone who has purchased Fendi pieces before, as soon as I saw it, I was like, yep, I can trust this one. I can trust it. And the funny part is I showed it to one of my good friends. Hey, Chrissy, hey. She said she remembers this bag in the 90s because it was on sale around the time when she first got her first Fendi piece. And she remembers wanting this bag. And so I'm so excited for it. I dress it up. I add bag charms to it. I add my little Fendi baguette charm to it. It is more of a handheld bag, than it is a shoulder bag. And so if I had any complaint, it would be that. But I don't mind, honestly. I wore this bag last night. It also is really cute as almost like a clutch. It's a good one. I feel like I will never see this design probably again in real life. That is how unique this vintage find is. It's rare, it's elite, okay? And I plan to be very mindful and very demure with it. So I told you that this video was going to be dedicated to bags under $1,000. And I am committed to that because, girl, unless it's a Birkin, why are we paying more than that for a vintage bag? This one is under $500. And it is a Celine handheld tote. Let me show you close up the Celine handles on this. They are in leather, while the rest of the bag is in canvas. It is that macadam canvas print that I just mentioned to you all. There isn't much hardware on this bag outside of the feet that are on the bottom. As you can see, the leather is a bit worn, but that's the bottom of the bag. So, girl, anybody that's that close to your handbag needs to be buying you one. Write a check. Because you shouldn't be all up under my bag anyway, right? The corners are all across the top, impeccable. But the one thing I will say about this bag is the smell. Now, it was not bad enough for me to try to initiate a return on this one. I do believe eBay allows for you to kind of contest the condition so that they can navigate or negotiate a return for you. But what I have done to mitigate it, and it has worked substantially, don't laugh, but my friend Kendra gave me this idea, is put an Arm & Hammer, can you see that? Disc in it. And then I put this in a larger bag with another disc in it and sealed it up. And it has been there since I got it, and it has helped so much. Like, if I'm still close to it, I smell it, I ain't gonna hold you. But when I first got it, I took it out the box and I was like, ooh. Mothball me. Jesus. That smell was loud and not in the good way. So smell was a concern with this one, but I can already tell that it is definitely going to subside. I mean, at the end of the day, girl, I'm willing to do my Googles to figure out, and y'all let me know if you have any tips for this, because this bag was $470. I'm sorry. It was $443.84 with free shipping. It came to $470 with some fees, I believe, because you may have to pay like duties or whatever. And both of them came via DHL. This bag, it was to my house quicker than Prime. Well, maybe not quicker, but quicker than some luxury sites. The Real will take a week to ship your stuff to you, and you will pay for the shipping. This bag shipped to me for free, and it was here in 3 days. It's the customer service for me. Okay, it's the customer service for me. I'm just looking at this seller. They have over 5,000 sales with 99% positive feedback, and this one was a Japanese seller. That is it, good people. These are my 2 bags. It's been so hard to hold on to these and not to show them to you before I recorded this video. But girl, the private community had already seen them, so drop down and join. We would love to have you. It's a good kiki and a good time over there. And I showed these bags during our monthly live, and also we started to chit chat back and forth about them a bit more, because I don't want y'all to miss nothing. And if you waiting for these videos, then you late. All right, I'm about to go and have me a lovely day. Should I take both of these bags? It might be too much, but anyway, I'll see you good people across the internet. Bye.